Hey, if you're watching this right now, I need your help. I need you to go down in the comments and I need you to tell me one of three things. If you have been waiting to buy an Apple Watch because it did not have an always-on display, let me know that down in the comments. If you are buying it because it now has the Apple always-on display, I want to know that too. And if you would just rather see us have like 3 or 4 days of battery life instead of this always-on crap, let me know that too, okay? I know it's a little bit of a rant, but here's the deal. Apple claims that this always-on display was the most requested feature of this year's Apple Watch. I don't want to say I don't believe them, but it's like, did someone mail Tim and say this, or is this reality? Because I personally do not know anyone that cares about that. I don't even know how I'd ask for it. Dear Tim, please give me a watch display that stays on when I'm not using it. I really don't like my battery, and I want it to die even quicker so that I have the opportunity to recharge sooner. I may be a little bit bitter about it. Not much, but let me know down in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. Now, my name is Chris. You're watching Battery Powered. This is really the Apple Watch Series 5 buyer's guide now that I've got that little rant out of the way. Here's how we're going to do it. What's new, what's not new, and what should you do depending on where you're at in the Apple Watch life cycle. So if you're an older watch user literally an older watch user, or you're an older user that doesn't have a watch, you want to know what to do, hey, we can help. So the new thing this year, obviously that always-on display. It's interesting how it works. It will turn the display down. It'll dim the brightness when the watch is at your side or not in active use position like this, or if you haven't touched the button or rubbed the knobs, or, pet it or any of that stuff. And it'll also turn down the display complication refresh rate. So if you have a second sweeping hand or something like that on your display, it'll turn that off while it's dimming the screen. And then of course, when you snap it back up, it comes up to full brightness and everything catches right back up again and it works flawlessly. I can tell you from my own experience, it does do that and it works pretty nice, it works pretty quick. Almost like my old Apple Watch that would just be off and then it would light up. All right, sorry, rant again. So that's new this year and it's all thanks to a new display controller that Apple put on the device, which is kind of interesting. Well, I have more. Stay tuned to the old section, okay? You're going to want to be here for that one. Other new stuff, titanium. Apple has done stainless steel and aluminum in the past, as well as ceramic in 2 colors. This year, they brought back the ceramic in white, and they've added this new metal, titanium, to the mix. Pretty cool. Titanium is a super light, super strong material that, in my experience, gets scratched a little bit easier than aluminum. So we will see how this works. I'm sure Apple did some amazing coating or something like that to it. But it is available in a gray color as well as a space black color. And the big news with titanium is it's brushed, so it is matte. It is not shiny finish like the stainless. It is a cool gray color with a nice brushed finish. So lighter than the aluminum, darker than the stainless, a good middle material, and very light as well. Not quite as light as the aluminum, but anyways. And in case I didn't already mention this, it starts at $799 for the 40mm with a sport loop. And then it does go up to $1399 for that white ceramic 44mm that they brought back this year. So it's good that they brought back the Apple Watch Edition, a little bit out of my price range, but still very cool. And then last, but certainly not least, what else is new this year? We get a compass app. Kind of cool. We also get a magnetometer built in that finally gives you that location. If you look at Apple Watch OS 6, they are moving you into a more independent way of the watch operating without the phone. And in the past, it got compass and heading and some other things handed over from the phone if it was unable to get its own with GPS heading and the, accelerometers that are built into the watch. Sorry, folks, this isn't scripted. This is just a guy driving. I'm not even on a soundstage or anything. What's old this year? Well, you can use your old watch bands for one thing. And that old case, not really old, a year old from last year, it brings over the same exact case as the Series 4. Same size, almost the same weight. It's all very much ideal. The screen has the same luminance, same brightness, same colors, same everything except for that display controller. Other things that are old are the CPU and the GPU. Yeah, you might have noticed if you watched the keynote, and if you didn't, here's some news for you. Apple always talks about how much faster or how much improved their devices are year over year. And with the watch this year, they didn't talk about how much faster it was. There was no cool little bar graph or anything showing how much better it was. They just talked about the couple of features we just did, as well as the emergency to internationally dial 911, the titanium. There was no Joni Ive saying aluminium this year, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, so it's the same speed as the Series 4. It also has the same battery, which is where we start to turn the corner into that buyer's guide. If you have a Series 4 Apple Watch and you're wondering if you need a Series 5, you don't. Just skip it. It's the same CPU, the same GPU, the same battery. So it's just as fast. Unless you really need that always on display, which if so, just a reminder, you should be doing something down below in the comments because I want to know that, okay? And I also want to know what kind of Apple Watch Series 5 you're buying if you're going to jump into that pool. Are you going like all in on the ceramic or not? But other than that, Series 3. Series 3 to Series 5, is it a good jumping in point? It could be. Honestly, the Series 3 isn't a bad watch. It's not terribly slow. If you're not dying with it and it's not torturing you, you haven't been chomping at the bit to go get a new watch, don't worry about it. Series 3 probably has a couple more years of legs underneath it. I mean, Apple even kept it around this year as a new entry-level watch, which I think is great. And personally, I don't have any problems with it if you're a light watch user. So if you don't think that you need a Series 5 this year, and you're on a Series 3, and your Series 3 is working okay, holding charge, and not doing anything weird, then yeah, stay with what you got. Now, Series 0, 1, or 2, and I guess I'll lump 3 into one other part of this one, but Series 0, 1, or 2, yeah, just go get it. You know what? If you're still rocking one of those things, you've earned the ability to go and upgrade to the new Series 5. Apple should just send you one for free, but unfortunately, they're not going to take my word on that. So yeah, if you're still using a Series 0, 1, or 2, just go buy a Series 5 now, and you'll appreciate it so much more. It'll be like the watch is actually on when you do this, and it responds so much faster. It's got a much better display. And for you folks that are in Series 3, I know I said a little mention to you. The one thing I will say is the case, obviously the display grew, but one thing I found a lot of people forget, including me earlier in this video, is that the Apple Watch between Series 3 and Series 4, they had that little weight loss surgery. I refer to it as the jelly bean effect, where they took the watch case and did this with it. They squished it a little bit. They made it more from a vitamin into, like a whatever. But the side profile of the device has lost a lot of weight. It's a slimmer design, and it just looks better on the wrist, in my opinion. It doesn't stick out as far. It's a friendlier design with a bigger display. So that is the one little gotcha. But again, if that's not torturing you, no need to move out of Series 3. But if you've never owned an Apple Watch before and you want to know if now is the time to get in, if you are wondering, I classify this into two realms of people. If you've been waiting for Apple to do something really big with the Apple Watch, I think Series 5 is, although I don't think that always on display is a big deal, I think Series 5 isn't a bad time to get in on it, but note that it is a $400 exposure fee for that, and I'm going to guess that they're coming out with something newer and better next year. So if you are one of those people who's just curious if an Apple Watch would be for you, maybe you've got a Fitbit now and you're thinking about getting into the the smartwatch world a little bit deeper, you want that Apple ecosystem tied in on your wrist, Series 3 is a great entry point. At $199, it is going to do wonders for Apple sales. I mean, this is now getting into the realm of people that I wouldn't have thought of getting an Apple Watch before. I might get them one this year as a gift or something like that. I think the Series 3 is a great watch, a great entry point if you are just watch curious, okay? If you are someone that wears a watch every day, wears a smartwatch, loves watches, loves all this stuff, and you are like, dude, I've been waiting for Apple to finally do the right thing, Series 5 might be more your speed. You're not going to be disappointed by it. And I know I said that little thing about a Series 4 before and the cost and everything, and just get a Series 4 if you've got one, or keep the Series 4 if you have one. That's all true and very valid. But right now there's some discounts on Series 5 that make it comparable in price to Series 4. So if you're going in new, I would just buy the Series 5 and call it a day. Other than that, this concludes our lovely watch buyer's guide. I'm super grateful you chose to spend some time with us today. My name is Chris. Thank you for watching Battery Powered. Don't forget to give us a like, share, subscribe. Until next time, be well, folks.